What if the first European to set foot in North America wasn't Christopher Columbus, but someone else? What if history's true trailblazer came not with a fleet of caravels, but aboard a single Viking ship over 500 years earlier? This is the story of Leif Erikson, a Norse explorer who altered the course of Viking history, inspired countless tales, and left a legacy that resonates even today. Prepare to embark on a journey into Leif's life, his roots in Icelandic tradition, his groundbreaking voyages, and how he reshaped the narrative of exploration for the Vikings and beyond. Leif Erikson was born around 970 CE in Iceland to Erik the Red and Þjóðhild Jörundsdóttir, a family of fierce determination and resilience. His father, Erik the Red, was notorious for his fiery temper and equally fiery hair. After being exiled from Norway for committing manslaughter, Erik fled to Iceland. When more trouble arose, Erik ventured further into the icy wilderness and founded Greenland, where he established the first Norse settlements. Leif grew up steeped in Viking culture, a world defined by exploration, raiding, and survival. This rugged upbringing prepared him for the challenges that lay ahead. The Vikings of his time were expert sailors who relied on innovations like clinker-built ships and advanced navigation techniques, including the legendary Sunstone, to traverse vast oceans. Leif's intellect set him apart from his peers. While other young Vikings focused solely on raiding and conquest, Leif had a thirst for knowledge. As a teenager, he ventured to Norway to serve in the court of King Olaf Tryggvason, one of the most influential figures in Norse history. It was under Olaf's guidance that Leif converted to Christianity. The king, a devout Christian, tasked Leif with bringing the religion to Greenland. This mission reflected a cultural shift within the Viking world, as Christianity began to replace the Old Norse gods. Leif's time in Norway also honed his leadership and navigation skills. He learned how to command loyalty among his men and how to chart courses through treacherous waters. These lessons would prove invaluable in his greatest adventure. Leif Erikson's expedition to Vinland wasn't just a solo effort. It may have been influenced by his sister, Freydis Eriksdóttir, one of the most overlooked figures in Viking history. Freydis accompanied later voyages to Vinland, where she is said to have displayed remarkable bravery. In one saga, she is described standing pregnant and unarmed, using only a sword and her voice to fend off hostile indigenous people. Some scholars believe her involvement in these expeditions added a layer of complexity to Leif's story, suggesting that the Erikson family as a whole played a pivotal role in Viking exploration. But Freydis's legacy is controversial. Other accounts portray her as ruthless and self-serving, even going so far as to orchestrate a massacre of her own allies. These conflicting stories highlight the shadowy and often brutal world of Viking exploration. Leif's life took a dramatic turn when he heard the tale of Bjarni Herjolfsson, a fellow Norseman who claimed to have seen unknown lands west of Greenland after being blown off course. While others dismissed Bjarni's story as a sailor's tall tale, Leif saw an opportunity. Around the year 1000 CE, Leif purchased Bjarni's ship, a sturdy gnar designed for long voyages, and assembled a crew of 35 men. Together, they set sail into uncharted waters, guided by little more than Bjarni's vague descriptions and Leif's confidence in Viking navigation. The journey was perilous. The North Atlantic was notorious for its unpredictable weather, with towering waves, freezing winds, and the ever-present threat of icebergs. But Leif and his crew pressed on, driven by the promise of discovery. After weeks at sea, Leif's crew sighted land. The first stop was a barren, rocky shore that Leif named Helluland, or Land of Flat Stones. Modern scholars believe this was likely Baffin Island. Finding the land inhospitable, the crew sailed on. Their next stop was a heavily forested area, which they named Markland, or Land of Forests. This is thought to correspond to present-day Labrador. Finally, they arrived at a lush and fertile land teeming with resources. Leif called it Vinland, or Wineland, because of the wild grapes that grew abundantly there. This location is widely believed to be Newfoundland in Canada, particularly the site now known as L'Anse aux Meadows, which was later confirmed as a Viking settlement. Vinland was unlike anything the Vikings had encountered before. Its mild climate, fertile soil, and plentiful resources offered the potential for a thriving settlement. Leif and his men built temporary houses and explored the area, gathering timber and other supplies. Leif's successful voyage earned him the nickname Leif the Lucky among his peers. But luck was only part of the story. His achievements were the result of careful planning, skilled navigation, and an unshakable determination to explore the unknown. Leif's leadership was instrumental in the success of the expedition. He maintained morale among his crew during the long and arduous journey, ensuring that they returned to Greenland safely with tales of the wonders of Vinland. Leif Erikson's journey to Vinland marked a turning point in Viking history. Until then, Norse expeditions had focused primarily on raiding and trading. Leif's voyage shifted this focus toward exploration and settlement. Leif's discoveries expanded the Vikings' understanding of the world, proving that lands lay far beyond Greenland's icy shores. His achievements inspired other Norse explorers, including his brother Thorvald Eriksson, who attempted to establish a permanent settlement in Vinland. However, these early attempts at colonization faced significant challenges, including resistance from the indigenous Skraeling, likely the ancestors of modern Inuit and First Nations people, and logistical difficulties. Despite these setbacks, Leif's voyage demonstrated the Vikings' capacity for exploration and innovation. One of Leif Erikson's lesser-known achievements lies in his role as an environmental pioneer. During his exploration of Vinland, Leif focused on sustainable resource gathering, particularly timber. In Greenland, where his father had settled, timber was a rare and precious resource. Leif's successful acquisition of timber from Vinland helped sustain the Greenlandic settlements, enabling them to build and repair ships, homes, and tools. Some historians even argue that Leif's foresight in resource management marked a departure from the more destructive tendencies of Viking raiders. Instead of plundering, Leif emphasized exploration and sustainability, a mindset that set him apart as a visionary leader. Beyond his achievements as an explorer, Leif played a key role in the Christianization of Greenland. Upon his return, he established a church and began converting his fellow settlers. This effort marked the beginning of a profound cultural shift within the Viking world, as Christianity gradually supplanted the Old Norse pagan traditions. Leif's dual legacy, as an explorer and a missionary, reflects the transformative period in which he lived. He was a bridge between two worlds, the adventurous pagan Viking Age and the more settled Christian medieval era. For centuries, Leif Erikson's story was passed down through Icelandic sagas, such as the Saga of the Greenlanders and the Saga of Eric the Red. These accounts, while rich in detail, often blurred the lines between history and myth. In the modern era, archaeological discoveries have confirmed many aspects of Leif's story. The excavation of Lonso Meadows in 1960 provided concrete evidence of Viking presence in North America around the year 1000 CE, validating the saga's claims about Leif's voyage. Leif Erikson's legacy extends far beyond his time, influencing everything from Scandinavian culture to global perceptions of exploration. In the 19th and early 20th centuries, Nordic immigrants to the United States celebrated Leif as a symbol of their heritage, leading to the establishment of Leif Erikson Day on October 9th. This date was chosen to honor the arrival of the first Norwegian immigrants in the U.S., rather than the exact date of Leif's voyage, blending history with cultural pride. Modern depictions of Leif often focus on his role as a trailblazer, but they rarely capture the full complexity of his character, a man who balanced faith and tradition, exploration and settlement, and ambition and pragmatism. What if Leif Erikson had never set sail? His journey to Vinland reminds us that history is often shaped by those who dare to ask, what lies beyond the horizon? If you enjoyed this exploration of Leif Erikson's life, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments which historical figure you'd like to see next. Until then, keep chasing the spirit of discovery.